Speaking in tongues warm up. Every time you go to speak in tongues, you need to allow some time just to warm up your spirit. Yes, so anytime you go to speak in tongues, of course, you are coming from a position where you have not been speaking in tongues. And as it is, anytime you are not speaking in tongues, of course, your spirit is getting weaker and weaker. So by the time you come to speak in tongues, you will need to warm up your spirit before you now proceed to the real business of why you began speaking in tongues. So for the prayer sessions that I've attended and several times when I've led people in praying in tongues, I've realized that people who have the mentality of, I need to warm up in speaking in tongues for a while, and once I have the momentum, then I can go full into now speaking in tongues, they tend to do well when it comes to speaking in tongues, and they're able even to pray in tongues for longer compared to those who only go with the assumption that they are already doing well and they just need to start speaking in tongues right away. So speaking in tongues warm up primarily, it's just speaking in tongues. The only difference is that you only speak in tongues with the mindset of this is just a warm up. So you may go to speak in tongues and choose to warm up for like 30 minutes. So for those 30 minutes that you are speaking in tongues, you don't really expect anything. You just speak in tongues. You just tell yourself, no matter how discouraged I feel, I'll just speak in tongues because I'm just warming up. It's just the same way people do warm-ups when they are in the field. You see, the warm-up is not necessarily playing, you see, but it is still physical action. But then the warm-up helps them get into the mood of the game and the pace of the game. So the same also applies to speaking in tongues. So if you have spent like a day without praying in tongues, you may need like an hour to warm up or 30 minutes to warm up before you are tuned to the Spirit. So consider that time and always have some minutes set just to warm up your spirit. And then the good thing is that when it comes to warming up your spirit for speaking in tongues, you can always do it even before you start speaking in tongues. Like, for example, if you want to speak in tongues in the evening, you can do a warm-up like midday or even in the morning, so that by the time that evening session of speaking in tongues comes, you are already tuned in the spirit, or it only takes you a few minutes to get the flow. So that is what I wanted to let you know, and I hope this speaking in tongues warm-up and allowing time to warm up your spirit before you start speaking in tongues will help you speak in tongues for longer and also help you dive deeper into speaking in tongues. God bless you.